podcast about our impressions of Yuki Yuna is a hero and how bad of a show it is.
My impressions from episode 1 was that aesthetically it was very similar to Modica, but at the same time, I was getting more vibes of like Sailor Moon. Initially, I did like the transformation sequences, schoolgirls, unassuming, and then their cell phones go crazy and everything freezes and they get thrown into this other dimension to fight.
I was getting some very heavy Sailor Moon-ish vibes too. The first episode felt like it was going to be a good, strong base for it to build on.
The first episode establishes the characters, obviously, but from a Princess Tutu-like way, once upon a time there was a hero, in order to set this thematic mood for what is to come, and how our protagonist has an ambition to uphold being a hero, which is a naive ideal, of course. Basically, it sets itself up as a moe show, where we get cute girls doing cute things in a cute school club, just talking about being nice to each other, until of course the darkness overcomes the world. Just kidding. Time freezes, Tokyo Tore, and they go into another dimension, which is more ominous and a bit psychedelic. It is static and all you see are tree roots with different colors and leaves in them. It sets this Lovecraftian mood to it while still being kind of plain, kind of bright and not at all as dark. The Vertex have some cool designs and absolutely have no characterization. They only have superficial appeal, absolutely. And the characters immediately question it, except the club president, of course, and explains pretty much all of it. To save the world. Typical Mahou Shoujo trope.
The animation is not that great, and the backgrounds are kind of really boring. School and all that kind of stuff. No detail put into it. It doesn't make you jump into that world. Even when they go into the world with the Shinju and that tree, everything is very static, aside from the Vertex, which, run and fight and blah blah blah.
The characters in the show are really, really cute, and if you don't really like the characters at all, you're not going to like the rest of the show.
Wasn't any of you annoyed by the product placement because it felt like they were promoting video games and smartphones?
Oh yeah, that was really weird, but I personally couldn't decide if that was a good thing or a bad thing, and the reason is because it kind of made you feel like it was definitely happening in this world, but on the other hand, it's like product placement, so that makes it, kind of a hard call there.
I feel like the uses of electronics make the show look set in this period of time.
I think kids can relate more to that because kids these days get all their smartphones really fast, and if they see the same smartphones, they can, make a connection. Some might want those smartphones and be like, I want this and want to watch the show more.
Honestly, product placement can sometimes help to kind of bring sort of a realistic sense to the show.
Second episode, you get like this tokusatsu feeling like, okay, we all have superpowers and they have special moves and signature moves and stuff like that. They're going to beat up monsters every week.
I didn't enjoy how, like, the Vertex have this, like, weak spot. Oh, just hit it and then you're done. I wish it had been a little more complex to kill.
Once the seal is broken and it has a timer on top of it, you can't kill the Vertex.
So, video game-like.
That is never shown again. It shows it just once. Ooh, tactics, and the next time, oh, we're supposed to do this. Okay, done. Kind of disappointing. And the moment afterwards where the wheelchair girl starts introspecting and self-deprecating herself into depression. This is a recurring event in the show where two of the characters constantly start self-deprecating themselves for the smallest reasons given to milk some drama and for you to get the freaking point. Ooh, she's my little sister. Oh, I dragged everyone into this. Oh my god, I'm crippled, I'm useless. Get it, we can see it. You don't have to tell us every 5 minutes, especially in a moe show, which is supposed to be happy-go-lucky and fun. In between that.
There's a lot of talking in this show. Pretty much everybody explains their reasonings and their inner thoughts, and it's all done like, I don't know,
through
monologues. It doesn't really make any sense because you're never shown their backstory or anything. You just see them there, and then they explain their backstories and their reasoning and all that kind of... It's really boring when you have to go through that.
The reason why we aren't given clear backstories is because this is an adaptation of a sequel novel, and you're supposed to go by the prequel novel.
This is the part where you have the crippled girl transform and help out.
Oh my god, she's useful. She's the only ranged user we have. And they beat two Vertexes this time with a bit less tactics.
There's nothing special in the battles other than the fact that they look nice. And it's only the really fresh backgrounds, the rainbow-colored tree or roots of the tree and the monster fighting.
But hey, it still works, and as a tokusatsu show, it is very well executed.
It has an obligatory fan service scene, and oh my god, her ass was so shiny. It's like, why are you doing this, anime? Why? Why do boobs and asses have to be shiny? It completely ruins everything.
It's not just then, it's like in almost every transformation scene, you get a bit of that,
Yeah.
bouncing boobs.
What's the point of it? First you see moe stuff, okay, and it's all kind of default and everything is cutesy, and then you over-sexualize them. It's weird. They're supposed to be a symbol of cuteness, not of sexuality.
Moving to episode 3.
Here is the introduction to the fifth member, because up to now we have only 4 members, and tokusatsu usually have odd number of members. We get a pompous, immature lady who acts like a slave driver while she has absolutely no control or no right to intrude in the club's activities. Yet, just like Rory, she tries to control everybody. Oh, we have schedules!
Oh, sick burn.
Yeah. Oh, you have to uphold them. Oh, there are these rules. Oh, there is honor.
Ooh, you gotta eat sardines.
I have to join the club, but only by name. I'm not helping you guys because you are naive bitches. And I'm not, in the least. Because I am raised by the Taisha and my wife only consists of fighting and fending for my 12-year-old self. With no parents and no sympathy, and I live all alone. It just breaks any realism once you see her empty room with no parents and her just being alone. Okay, you can sympathize, but at the same time, who the fuck leaves a 12-year-old girl alone?
Also,
Not
you gotta
even-
love how a birthday party fixes everything.
Yay!
Friendship is
Like-
magic!
Oh my god, that's the main theme of the show, and the way it's presented is really poor.
Ham-fisted.
And it doesn't even make sense many of the times. It's like, I made you a birthday party and now you love me.
Kind of
The fuck?
forcefully made to warm up to them. Oh, I guess I'm going to begrudgingly join your club activities because you emotionally appealed to me and persuaded me on a purely emotional level instead of a rational one, which I'm supposed to
There's-
uphold.
Oh, magic! 12-year-olds can solve everything.
A lot of the show just cuts scenes, just straight up builds them up and then cuts to them, and with this swap sound, as in "fuck you, you know what happened." She's going to sing "slap," as in somebody off screen slapped her, and you don't get to see it. What a tease!
4 is the friendship episode.
I'd
And
just like to say, I'm just happy that this show has officially gone 4 episodes and hasn't killed one of the girls. Monica pulled that trick way too quick, and I'm just glad that this is trying to hold off.
This still brings up the whole jarring tone. The director did his best to make it transition somehow, but it still comes off rather bad because on the one hand we have a happy-go-lucky Moe show. Hey, let's have fun, let's be friends. Then on the other hand we have introspective, self-centered, self-deprecation, which just really ruins the atmosphere of the show, just like a Kami ga Kill. There's supposed to be a better transition to this.
Moving to episode 5, which is one big action scene.
Yes, it is all action and sudden power-ups because Nakama. It's visually bombastic and very spectacular. Michael Bay. Oh yeah, this breaks up the continuity. Oh, we have 12 vertexes to kill. Oh good, we have exactly 12 episodes. Nope, here 5 at once. Finish it off. And we'll be done with the season. Okay, bye. Not really.
I was watching the episode, and for a second I was like, am I watching the finale here? Is this gonna be like the action climax? Because they went all out.
I like the fact that they were beat up.
Yes, that it is very cathartic. Especially after all the slice of life bullshit.
I was expecting one of them to die during that battle, or just all the ones that transformed to die, like right from the get-go. And they didn't, so I was actually really happy about that.
Even at one point I feared for their deaths. This show managed to convince me that these girls were actually in danger, when they never really were, as it says so later. Oh, this reminds me, the squeaky voices, they do not work when you shout. It just sounds awful.
And now you know why most Americans hate Goku's Japanese voice.
Yes, I have a friend who refuses to see that show in Japanese just because of his voice action.
Episode 5.
This is where the dark twist comes in. Everybody who went through the transformation, Mankai instead of Bankai, comes at a price.
But it's only temporary.
Yes, they're told it's only temporary, girls. It's alright. You recover. There's absolutely no problem with this.
Because the show would be over otherwise.
And what do they do until they recover?
Beach
talk
episodes,
about-
man. Gotta sell those figurines, you know.
Don't you honestly believe that the 7th episode with all the moist shit in it was again to show us how they have a normal life, or to throw down our expectations, a cool down moment before the next revelation?
After episode 5, I was definitely more invested in the series, and then, once they showed, like, the side effects, and they mentioned it was temporary, like, immediately I'm like, okay, this is the tragic thing, it's not temporary, it's only gonna get worse.
I was really happy when, like, the twist wasn't a total shock factor twist.
It wasn't
make
like
us get
immediate
in.
death.
Yeah, it was like, oh man, they just killed like half the cast. Look at this. No, it was. I think it's probably the strongest point that this show does have is that it decided to make its twist be a more realistic thing.
It was
occurs.
subtle.
And
That's
then,
It's more suffering as
yeah,
well.
and also it's going to have a longer impact on us, whereas a death would have been like a 5-second, damn, well, that sucks. This is more like, oh, this is gonna suck.
Then the next episode we get the huge exposition dump where a girl teleports the main character, the always optimistic, energetic Genki girl, who is also naive, and the cynical cripple who always keeps track of everything. And she expositions them to death. We are all immortal. Every time we use Mankai, we lose one of our physical abilities, in one sense or another. The plot thickens.
It's worse than death. That's what they're trying to give you.
The whole concept of like, you get all this, but in return, you slowly get screwed over more and more. I enjoyed
without
that
dying.
much more than anything that was kind of like a one-time deal, like a wish. This choice was not quite as obvious to say no to. Like, there were clear benefits to taking this on. So I don't immediately blame all of the girls for actually doing this, which is nice.
But they were never given a choice. They were dragged into this.
Oh, right, yeah, damn it. Regardless, they're still getting a better deal. Also, it's a much
still
more...
the same formula. They're unassuming. They didn't know it was going to happen. No one told them. You kind of get the repercussions of that later on, and that's kind of what the final conflict goes into.
Instead of being exposition dumped, they could have shown the backstory with Togo and this girl, because in the prequel novel,
Oh yeah, that would
they
have
could have
been...
shown the trio. That would have been a perfect example, and even better marketing, by the way. So
Yeah.
they have little excuse. And from here, this opened up some nihilistic themes, as in the enemy is never ending. Therefore, why should you even bother keep on fighting when you live forever and cannot die? What the fuck does it matter? If we keep on fighting, we will keep sacrificing our bodies and only exist as consciousness. And from there on, what point of existence is there? There are so many existentialist themes that the show just glosses over. I just see a lot of potential I don't see realized because it has to be bogged down by being a slice of life more. Here we see the cripple girl actually trying to suicide. How the hell does she get access to carbon monoxide?
Well, I mean, that's like a car. You could
Yes,
just...
that's nitpicking, but how does she try to throw herself off a building alone? How again would nobody notice her?
I'm pretty sure no one would notice if you would try to kill yourself.
However, the big revelation. The world actually isn't the world. The world is fucked.
That big revelation meant absolutely nothing. They never elaborated on it, and it's just there for shock factor.
It does nothing with it, doesn't elaborate it, and doesn't reinforce its potential nihilistic and existentialist themes. As in, what is the point of fighting? The world is already fucked. There's no point to keep protecting it from a never-ending horde of darkness. Here is where I make connections to another show, Technoice, which is the most nihilistic and depressing. It was depressing from the very start, and it was sucking the soul out of you, while this is a warm, more show. It didn't need to raise the stakes like this.
It probably does that for the contrast.
Yes, but again, since it doesn't embrace its themes, it's essentially pointless and needless. It's needless, in my opinion, to show how Togo became attached to the club, because we already saw the reasons why she's in the club and why she has such a loyal friend and why she never loses hope despite having every reason to do so, being a amnesiac cripple. Okay, next episode, the actual battle conflict, and Homura did nothing wrong.
I thought it was neat. Like, her idea of like, okay, let's just end it all. Let the monsters get the Tesha or whatever. It was interesting.
Pretty ballsy, and I enjoyed it, and it kind of saved the show for me.
I like the sense of rivalry in it, like they're trying to fight for two different resolutions for the end. The rest of the show have all just seen them to be friends and be cutie moe, whatever the hell. This one episode where they like fight each other, which is what I really like.
But again, it could have been done so much better with a bit more thematic embrace, showing how she is right, how she is wrong, instead of just being beaten down, shonen power-up style, ending with Yuki just winning, and Togo realizing the error of her ways. However, this episode also includes a few other things. Big sister has lost all hope, and her little sister will never realize her dream, all because she dragged her into this. Said little sister, who is mute, fights on, surpassing her. You felt it through each episode that she was a shadow of her sister. But when she became mute, she became a great optimistic supporting character by not uttering a word. And finally, Karen, embracing friendship and stop being a bitch, going full-on beast mode on all the vertex. Though it felt extremely cheesy. You're just rushing things. It really screws over the feel of the power level. The previous huge climax was bombastic. It was big.
Yeah.
While here, she's like,
This was
attack, boof, attack.
This was supposed to be it was supposed to be more emotional.
Yes, by screaming. I sympathize with the seiyus that not only do they have to give a moai voice, they also have to scream through it.
Yeah. Episode 12 is where they have the resolution. And surprise! Everything was temporary after all. You just had to wait a little bit. They were just very impatient to have she even walks again. They're not disabled anymore, and it's happily ever after. It just throws everything back in your face. It's just like, haha, take all your sorry emotions and get out of here. We're gonna have a happy ending.
I hope you like the show because it's done now. Now take this shit and get out.
Yeah, get out of here. I was pleasantly surprised, but at the same time, it's like ruins the entire second half of the series for you.
I honestly can't decide if it's like the worst ending ever or the best ending ever, because in one respect, it totally just throws everything out the window and basically says you wasted all your time. The other hand, it kind of makes itself the most deconstruct of deconstructions of all time by saying, haha, you got invested into this and look what happened.
It was supposed to be sad. People want sad things, but the show was like, no, it's going to be happy, and it's basically just one big misunderstanding.
Maybe we should be happy that this wanted to be happy for once and kind of take this really depressing route to it.
And nobody died.
At least it was an ending that actually made sense.
It's not edgy. It makes you think edgy. So
Perfect.
it's very subtle.
It's banked very well on the sentimentality. I think it really fits the show, because it's a moe show at its core. It talks all about friendship, it wants to be happy-go-lucky, even in the face of nihilism and cynicism, with just one episode, and a bit more expanding on the world building, and a bit more thematic focus. This would have been a great series. But for now, we have something that is miles better than Madoka Magica.
I thought the show was a decent watch, definitely better than Madoka, but it still isn't good enough for me to go up to somebody and say, you know, you should totally check out this thing called Yuki Yuna. But it is very nice fodder to have now for any of those people who are like, Madoka is the best thing ever, oh my god, the ending's amazing. So I at least have a show that I can point to that pulled that off a fair bit better.
I want to see less characters talking about their lives and, you know, what their reasonings are, you know, to present actually the characters, not make them talk about their life out of nowhere.
I really like Yuki Yuna, and it does take its time to flesh out each individual character, and I do like the way it did its ending better than Madoka Magica, even if the ending is a bit of an arsepull.
Wasn't a big fan of the CG, how they slightly used it for the character models. For the creatures, I guess that's alright, but the character models, that really kind of irked me throughout the entire series watching that, and, you know, what am I going to do? That's the future. Anyways, the only thing is that it's a standard show, you know. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it unless somebody's looking for something similar to this.
Magical girl shows have always had a dark element, but these more forceful, cynical ones have only become more present from Madoka, and Yuki Yuna, fleshing out its characters, dedicating itself even to archetypes, is a step in the right direction.
I like Nanoha much more than this. It was way more organic and looks better. It takes 2 seasons for it to get good, but when it gets good, I think it's better than this. This one seems kind of like a bit rushed, a bit not well thought out.
Well, it's all about something good, though, not Psychopaths 2.
We're
Anyone
talking
else
about
to add?
something average. Let's not overstate ourselves. It's average.
Hey, I said it's
Yes,
good. You can
it's
think
average,
it's average.
but again, it's a step in the right direction.
But no more positive things next time. We've got to do something negative again.
Well, just
Negative.
Fuck weak
Okay,
sauce.
we cross. Okay, let me have it.
Okay. Weak
I haven't
sauce
seen
next
Weight
week.
Loss, though.